Okay, so we are recording this meeting now, and I will share my screen now. Any questions to ask? So can you see my screen now? Do you see the screen at your end?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay,
Yes,
excellent. Okay, excellent. Any questions? All right, so looks like there are no questions, is it, today? Right, so I believe this is tutorial 7 perhaps, yeah? So I'll check 7 or 8, but anyways. So sorry, I will have to sort of start this again. For a problem at my, let me see if it works now. So I was thinking if there are no, maybe we can discuss some examples on series which we were doing last time, infinite series which we introduced last time. Let's see if this works at my end. Yes, now it is working. So this is at your end now on the screen. Do you see tutorial 7 on your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right. So let's just continue discussing a few things about infinite series. I'm not going to teach something new, but just discuss a few examples to utilize the time. Okay. So just quickly recall, we defined the infinite series last time. What's an infinite series? So given a sequence of real numbers, you associate with a sequence of real n, which is called as the sequence of partial sums. Now, the infinite series is actually the sequence Sn as it is written here, but the notation used is the infinite sum n equal to 1 to infinity xn. Yeah, so please do not get lost in this notation. All this means is that you consider Sn as the nth partial sums of the given sequence xn, right? So we were trying to define what is the meaning of convergence of an infinite series. We say that the infinite series converges provided the associated sequence of partial converge to real, right? Given a sequence of real numbers, you can associate an infinite series with that, and a sequence of partial sum, you can recover the original sequence of real numbers also, right? So which means that all that learned for sequences can also be used for all the series, right? And in particular, you can rewrite a little bit of proof. Yeah. So we said that the infinite series positive epsilon, there is a fixed cutoff stage n naught, such that this summation xk starting from n to index m in absolutes is less than epsilon whenever m and n are both bigger than n naught. Yeah? In order for the sum to make sense, m has to also be bigger than n, right? Yeah, so this is, all I've done is that the infinite series converges if and only if the sequence of nth partial sums is convergent, which means that the sequence of nth partial sums is Cauchy. So you apply the Cauchy convergence criteria to the sequence of nth partial sums, and this is what you get, right? So in particular, in the statement A, which is labeled here, if you look at the particular case, little m equal n, then what do you get? You get that a series converges if and only if xn tends to 0 as n tends to infinity, right? This is what we sort of ended our time with last time, correct? Is that okay with everybody? Any questions on this? Is this okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay. All right, so let me sort of start by highlighting that. Let's take up an example to highlight that this is only a necessary condition for the convergence of the series. It is in general not a sufficient condition. Yeah, so let's do that. So we saw that. So last time in the corollary, we saw that. I'll just say that one more time. If the infinite series converges, then this happens, right? All I'm trying to say is that this is in general not a sufficient condition for the convergence of series. Yeah, so let me write it down. This is not, yeah, so this not is important, not in general sufficient for convergence of the series. Right? So what it means is that if xn tends to 0 as n tends to infinity, does not necessarily imply that the series would converge, right? So let me try to give you an example. So all I'm trying to discuss is a few examples. So let me try to give you an example. So for example, let's look at the following thing. Consider xn as 1 by n. Yeah, we have seen this, right? That clearly xn tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. We have seen this a couple of times, so I am not going to repeat the argument. I believe everybody is with me on this point. Correct? Everybody agrees with me that xn tends to 0 as n tends to infinity when xn is 1 by n. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So that the point that I want to emphasize here is that the series 1 by n does not converge. Yeah. So this in particular says that this corollary is only a one-way implication. It is not in general sufficient for the convergence of series. Yeah. So how do I justify this claim that this series does not converge? I look at the associated sequence of nth partial sums and say that that does not converge, right? So in order to show that that the associated sequence of nth partial sums does not converge, what I'll rather show is that the associated sequence of nth partial sums is not bounded, right? Since every convergence sequence is bounded, if this is not bounded, it cannot converge, correct? So the idea is clear. Okay, so let's consider the following. Yeah, so let's consider. I'm trying to justify the above statement. Let's consider the partial sums, the nth partial sums of order n, where n is of the form 2 to the power k for some positive integer k. Yeah, why am I doing that? Let's see this. Yeah. So by definition, this is Sn. So this is summation 1 by n starting from index 1 to capital N, which is 2 to the power k by choice. So which means 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4, all the way the last term is 1 by 2 to the power k, correct? Yeah. So this is a finite sum, right? So there's no problem here. I can group it in the manner I want to. Yeah. So I am going to look it as in the following term. Yeah. So I'm going to write 1. So I'm going to insert some brackets here. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4. What's the last term? 1 by 2 to the power k minus 1 plus 1. Yes. Plus 1 upon 2 to the power k. Is that correct? Yeah, did I make a mistake here, or does this seem okay? Is this okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, seems okay. All right, great. So now, I want to show that Sn is not bounded. Yeah, so I'm going to say that I am trying to put an inequality like this here. Yeah, so the first term remains as it is. The second term also remains as it is. The third term, I'm going to say that 1 by 3 is bigger than 1 by 4 and retain this term as it is. Yeah. So what happens over here is that I'm going to say that this term here is at least as big as 1 upon 2 to the power k. Correct? Is that okay? Yes? Is that okay? Everybody
Yes,
with
ma'am.
me up till this point? Yes? Okay. So which means that the above sum is the first term as it is. So this is 1 by 2. So if you sort of add the terms in the parentheses, this is 1 by 2 again. And the last term would be again, so this is 2 to the power k minus 1 by 2 to the power k. This is 1 by 2 again. Yeah. So this would be 1 plus k times 1 by 2. So I will have a k by 2. Correct? Is that okay? Yeah. So what is that we have shown for n equal to 2 to the power k, the nth partial sums are, so they satisfy this bound. Correct? For all positive integers, right? So this statement is telling me that the sequence Sn is unbounded, isn't it? And hence cannot converge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. So all I wanted to highlight by giving this example is that you may have xn tending to 0, but that does not guarantee that the series xn, that infinite series converges, right? Here's an example. Is this okay with everybody? How many of you are here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see. Anyways, so 15 of you, including me. So there are 14 of you here. Okay. Okay. So do you want to see some more examples, or is there something else that you want to ask or want me to do?
Ma'am, example.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's see.
Hello.
Yes,
Excuse me,
please.
ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes,
can you
yes.
please
Yeah, go ahead. Go
tell
ahead.
us the syllabus of mid-sem?
Syllabus of midsem, so have we decided about the midsem? Is the date set? Is it on October 12 now?
Actually, ma'am, after the mail you give tomorrow, that is, first we thought about keeping the uh, this test midsem from on 12th from 2 to 5, but then you
Correct.
said to keep it outside of this
Yeah, that
class
will be
hours.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, so so I thought of keeping it in the morning, but
Yes.
then again students were having a problem in the morning, so people thought that it will be better if we can keep it on 13th, because 13th everyone is free, and from
That's
13th
also fine. Yeah, 13th is also absolutely fine with me. You all of you just decide on one date and one time slot and let me know.
yes, ma'am, that's actually the problem, because everyone because there's only one guy whose name is Rahul. Uh,
Yes.
his dates are tentative, and so he's also not sure that his exams will will exams will happen on 13th or not. So actually, the problem arises there. So, ma'am,
Okay, so
it's just
when
a
is
suggestion.
Rahul? Yeah, tell me, Rajit. So one
It's
thing
just a
is,
suggestion
yeah, go ahead.
that I mean, ma'am, can you take the exam for all of us except Rahul, and like for perhaps you can take the exam for Rahul later, because problem arises there only.
See, Arijit, I would like to take all of you in the same boat as much as possible. See, I can set another question paper and Rahul can write an exam again. But, it is best that all of you try to be in the same boat as much as possible. Let me see. So is Rahul around today?
Yes, ma'am.
So Rahul, do you know for sure your university dates or not as yet?
No, ma'am. No,
Okay.
not
So
decided.
which university is this, Rahul?
Kavitri Bainabhai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon.
North Maharashtra. Yeah. So don't worry. So when are your exams going to start as of now? What is the latest information that you have?
Not decided, ma'am. Earlier they have said that exam starting from 6th of October, but
Huh.
they are going to postpone the exam.
Okay. Okay. So today is first, and you don't know if it's going to start on 6th. So Rahul, what we do is we tentatively fix the midsem on October 13th for now, right? So if
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have your university exam on October 13th, you let us know and we will move the midsem for SI 425. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, is that okay? So it's the responsibility is yours. So nobody else. So Arijit, nobody else besides Rahul seems to have a clash on 13th of October.
No, no.
Yeah. So Rahul, so hopefully by 10th of October, maybe you will know that whether you have a university exam on 13th or not. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So tentatively, we go ahead. So please, Arijit, please fix up a time on 13th of October. Talk to all
Ma'am,
of your
2 to
friends.
5.
2 to 5. Okay. Okay. Send me an email with 2 to 5. And or maybe I will send you all of you an email so that this is on record and sort of people remember it. So we agree on. I'll just write it down. So we agree tentatively on a mid-sem exam. On October 13th is what we agreed, and the time is 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Is that correct? Yeah. So this is under the constraint that Rahul is not writing his university exam on the same date. Correct? So Rahul, are you still around?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So Rahul, in case you have a university exam on that date, please let me know over email. Yeah. As soon
Yes,
as you
ma'am.
have some information, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if your exams start on 6th, when are they supposed to end?
They are supposed to end on 15th of October, but now they are going to postpone.
You know for sure that they are going to postpone?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Or you're sure about it? So then why don't we have an exam in the mid-sem week itself?
Uh,
Does that
that
work for everybody? Anyways, now that we have, so Arijit, we agree on this as your
Yes,
class representative. Any changes, you let me know. So either Rahul is going to write me or Arijit, you please write to me on his behalf.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, so just coordinate, right? So maybe by 10th of October, we should have a clarity on this so that I can sort of write to all of you and you would know what is the plan. Correct. So any case, so assuming that the mid-sem exam is on October 13th, the syllabus would be all topics covered in class, tutorials and reading assignment till today. Till today means what is the date? Today is October 1. Up till and including the lecture in the afternoon. Up till and including the lecture on Thursday, October 1. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes? All right. And how will the exam be held? See, I am yet to finalize it. So I will write to you in an email. Is that okay? It will be certainly an online exam, but the exact modalities, let me think about it and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else that you wanted to ask me? I'll just write here. Assuming. So my understanding is that you are not writing any of the mid-semester exams at IIT Bombay in the following week. Is that correct?
Ma'am, Radhesas, but Radhesas, those who are unable to give Radhesas exam, they will give it later.
Okay, so you do have one exam. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. So I was thinking maybe I will put up some practice problems for this course, which you are not required to submit as assignments, but something that you sort of have to work on. I'll see. If you're already loaded too much, you have an exam, then I will not do it. Okay, anything else? Okay, there's nothing else, is there? Okay, so let's sort of continue. This was a bit of digression. Okay, any other question? Or do we sort of see maybe a couple of more examples and then sort of call it a day for this meeting? Somebody wanted
Please
to say?
continue with example.
Okay, all right. So, we just saw one example. So let's see, let's a couple of, one more example based on this corollary. Yeah. This is perhaps material that you have already seen, but doesn't hurt seeing some more examples. Okay. So let's consider the series, the following series. Which one? So summation x to the power n. So n from 0 to infinity, where x is a real number. Yeah. So this is a series. X to the power n. X is a fixed real number. Yeah. So perhaps you have already seen this. This is a geometric series. Right. Okay. So let's see. So for various values of fixed values of x, you have to investigate whether this series converges or does not converge and things like that. Right. Okay. So here is something that one can say. Yeah. So if mod of x is so x is a real number, right? So x is a real number. If mod of x is bigger than 1 means what? I have -1 and 1 here on the number line. So x is outside this interval -1 to 1. Yeah. So if x is a real number with modulus bigger than 1, then what can you say? Then what can you say about this series? So I would sort of strike this off for now, and I would say that investigate the convergence of the series. So even before I make this statement, let's consider the sequence of nth partial sums of this series. Yeah, that would be a better approach. So consider the associated sequence of nth partial sums. So consider the partial sums given a series. The first thing that you should do is look at the partial sums. Yeah, so this is the notation we have used is Sn, and this should be by definition all terms of the series up to index capital N, correct? So what is it? This is 1 plus x square plus x to the power n, correct? Is this okay? Now, in order to investigate the convergence of this series, we have to make a decision about whether this sequence of nth partial sums converges or not. Okay. All right. So here is one thing that I can do, right? I look at the following thing. Yeah? So Sn plus 1 is by definition. So all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to determine this nth partial sum. Yeah. So I am sorry, there's no infinity here. I am now considering the n plus 1th partial sum. So which means that I have to sum all terms up to n plus 1. Right. So this is correct. Right. Which means that so this is 1 plus x square. The last term here would be x to the power n plus 1. Yeah. So this by definition is, you sum all terms up to index n. plus the n plus 1th term, xn plus 1, yeah, which means Sn, the nth partial sums plus 1, right? Is that correct? Now, if you look at the right hand side, I can write it as 1 plus x, 1 plus x to the power n, right? And the term which I have written in the parenthesis is nothing but the nth partial sum. So I'm going to write it like this, right? Which means that I have this. So the left hand side is Sn plus x, the n plus 1th term equals 1 plus x times Sn. Is that correct? Yeah. Which means that I can solve this equation upstairs, and it implies that the nth partial sum is given as 1 minus x to the power n plus 1 by 1 minus x. Is that correct? Everybody with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. All right. So in order to make a statement about whether this series converges or not, I have to make a statement about what I have to determine what happens to this nth partial sums as I allow capital N to tend to infinity. Correct? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Oh, all right. Now, what can you say about this? What can you say about, so let's allow capital N to tend to infinity, then what can you say? So here is something I will sort of say. Yeah. So let's look at the following case. So you need to investigate depending on what is x. Yeah. So x is a fixed real number. So I am going to make a sort of say. If x is such that mod of x is bigger than 1, then what happens to this term? Then you look at this term, mod of x to the power n plus 1. Right? You look at this term. Now, this term is exactly mod of x to the power n plus 1. Right? Now, what happens to this term? I say that this term does not tend to 0 as capital N tends to infinity. Is that correct? Everybody agrees with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the conclusion would be, hence the associated series x to the power n cannot converge by the corollary that we just discussed if mod of x is at least 1. Is that correct? Yeah. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now we need to only investigate the case when mod of x is strictly less than 1. Yeah, which means that x comes from the open interval minus 1 to 1. Yes. Now, so my question here is, so this is an observation. Everybody with me up till this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if mod of x is strictly less than 1, then what can you say about this series, right? So that means that, so in this case, you know, the nth sums, we cannot make a general statement like this, right? So now we look at the sequence of nth partial sums, yeah, and investigate whether this converges. So what can you say about Sn? We have actually worked out the formulae for the nth partial sums. What can you say about it?
Ma'am,
Somebody
as
going to,
n,
yes, please, yeah, tell me.
ma'am, as n tends to infinity, it converges to 0.
as n tends to infinity, what converges to 0? Sn. Is that
Mod
what
of-
you want to say?
No, ma'am. X. X.
X.
Means mod of x to the power n plus 1 converges
Mod
to
of
0.
x to the power n plus 1. Yeah, so that's what I'm, yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. So for mod of x, so x coming from the open interval minus 1 to 1, here is something that we observe. In this case, as before, so you look at this term which appears in the sequence of nth partial sums. This is this tends to 0 as n, capital N tends to infinity, right? Which means that, which means the following, which means that the limit of the sequence of nth partial sums exists and equals what? Which means that the limit as n tends to infinity Sn exists and equals what? Can somebody help me? This is by definition, this is 1 minus x to the power n plus 1 by 1 minus x, right? There's the term involving capital N appears only here, and that goes to 0 as n tends to infinity. So the limit laws will tell us that this limit exists and equals 1 upon 1 minus x. Please note that little x here comes from the interval minus 1 to 1, the open interval minus 1 to 1. So this denominator 1 minus x is no problem at all, right? X is never equal to 1 in this case. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
I just reiterate that for x greater than 1. So in this case, the infinite series converges and converges to 1 upon n minus x. So I'll just reiterate. So if mod of x is less than 1, then the sequence of nth partial sums converges, which means that the associated series converges and the sum is given by 1 upon 1 minus x. Oh. Is this okay with everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any questions so far? Everybody with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I hope with these two examples, you are a little more comfortable in dealing with infinite series. Okay. So now that we have made some progress, seen an example of an infinite series which converges and seen an example of an infinite series which does not converge, this is also, I think, something that you have already seen, the comparison test for convergence of series. Right. So let me write down the proposition. With this proposition, you can sort of work out many examples. So maybe I'll just state this proposition for now. If xn is less than equal to yn for all n sufficiently large, and if the infinite series Yn converges, then the infinite series Xn also converges. Correct? Right, so this is part one. So you can sort of cook up many examples using this test. If so, here's another one. If xn is bigger than yn, is so each term is positive for all n sufficiently large. And if the series Yn does not converge, then the series does not converge. Then I'll just say so does. Is this okay? Does the statement make sense to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so everybody understands what is the meaning of this phrase, for all little n sufficiently are large? Yeah. So all it means is that we do not require this inequality. For example, in the first statement, xn is less than equal to yn to hold for all indexes little n. It is enough that this inequality holds for all but fine, all n sufficiently large, meaning some stage onwards. It's okay if at most finitely many terms of x and yn do not obey this inequality, still this proposition, this result continues to hold true. Yeah, so I believe this is something that you should keep in mind. Yeah, so this has a name. This is called as the limit comparison test. So I would sort of leave this proof for you to work out. All you have to do is apply the Cauchy convergence criteria, which I think you can do it, right? One can sort of figure this out. I think you should be able to fix this. Is this okay? Is this okay with everybody present here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, if you have no further questions, then maybe, we will continue in the afternoon session. I can go on and on, but, or, do you want me to do some more examples, or we should just stop right here for this session, whatever you want me to do?
Ma'am, one more example.
Okay. All right. So let's see what I can do. So let me try and apply these comparison tests. So can I leave this for you to fix the proof of the proposition? This comparison test. Is that a yes with everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's a very feeble yes, but shall I take it as a yes with everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. All right. So let's take an example based on this proposition on the comparison test. So this so let's see. So let's consider the series, the P series, 1 upon n to the power P. Yeah. So n is a fixed natural number here. Yeah. And little p is varying over the set of real numbers here. Yes. Is that okay? Do you understand what I have? What is the series that we are considering here? Little p is a fixed real number. So I'll just say fix p a fixed real number and consider the series as follows. So this is called as the P series. So the first example that we considered in the session today was summation 1 upon n. So that was the series for p equal to 1. Is that okay? You remember that? I'll just note that down. For p equal to 1, we discussed that the series 1 upon n. So we looked at the sequence of partial sums of this series, which is unbounded, and conclude that this series cannot converge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, I would like to use this information together with the comparison test. Yeah. So I will say that let's look at the following scenario. So for P in the interval is to this, yeah. So if P is between 0 and 1, then this inequality is satisfied. Yeah, 1 upon n to power P is bigger than 1 upon n. Correct? Is that okay? This is true for each index little n. Is that okay? Does everybody agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and we agreed that the series 1 upon n cannot converge. So the comparison test will tell us that for P in the interval 0 closed 1, the series 1 upon n to power P cannot converge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it follows from the comparison test. That means that the above proposition that I wrote down without proof, that the series 1 upon n to power P cannot converge for P in the interval 0 to 1. Correct? Everybody with me? Everybody with me on this? Somebody had a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's look at what happens now for P less than equal to 0. You look at this term, 1 upon n to power P. P is negative here. This does not tend to 0 clearly as n tends to infinity. Hence, the series 1 upon n to power p cannot converge in this case. Is that correct? Everybody with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we have ruled out this case as well. So now we look at this series. So now we look at this series for p strictly greater than 1. Correct? And investigate whether this series converges or not. Right? Right? That is the case to be looked at. So far, everybody with me? Is this okay with everybody present here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So I think, in the interest of time, my time is just up. We will stop at this point and continue from here in the afternoon session. Continue with this example. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
I don't want to overshoot time. Yeah. So I'll just stop the recording for this meeting.
Hello.
Yes, please.
I really can check mail.
Yeah.